In this episode, we talk about what is the most important metric in Facebook advertising.
I done been around the world, been around the block, been around the Biggie and Pac like Vita Guerrera. Took her to the top, she'll give you some brains, you let her throw up the rock. So
guys, welcome to episode 39. I'm the Senior Campaign Manager for Born Man. Very happy to be here. Today we have a question from Jorge, very excited to answer it. So yeah, Hector, you have the question?
Alright, bottles on me, long as someone drink it, never drop the ball, fuck it y'all thinking.
Well, it depends. Very good question. But obviously it depends on what kind of campaign you're running. So I will start off with what metric is not the most important, which don't matter. So there are two that come to mind right now. The first would be clicks. I mean, when you're running a campaign and if you measure how many clicks you get to the website, I mean, it doesn't necessarily mean anything. I believe it's a vanity metric from the Facebook ads and you shouldn't really determine your campaign on that. The other thing that I would say also doesn't matter is your relevance score. I mean, I've seen some campaigns with a low relevance score and they were making me a lot more money than with a higher relevance score. So I think if you put these two aside, you don't really have to be worrying about these two metrics. So that's the metrics that do not matter. Let's get now to the metrics that matter. Jorge, your question is being answered right now. Yay. So the metrics that matter would be, okay, for example, say you're running a conversions campaign. Then you have a few metrics that are very important, but the number one would be obviously your cost per purchase. You want to know how much you're spending to make a sale. And this is so important because putting aside the relevance score, putting aside everything, it really is the core of how much does it cost to make your required action. Also, in a conversions campaign, what else I would focus on is the click-through rate, so the CTR, how many people have clicked onto your sales page. This is important because if you have a low one, then you know that probably you need to change something about your creative or you need to change your ad set audience. So this is very important. Otherwise, then I would also focus on frequency. Frequency is how many people have seen your ad. So I mean, how many of the same people have seen your ad? So for example, if you have a frequency of 3 on the ad and people are still not buying, that's not going to change after the same person has seen your ad 3 times. But also, if people have seen your ad 3 times and they were buying, I would at this point mix it up, make the creatives a little bit different, get people more engaged. So say, for example, the first time they were close to buying but didn't buy, then I would focus on a different pain point of theirs. And yes, this is very important. But I would say it always depends on what kind of campaign you're running. So if you're running a PPE campaign, then your cost per engagement is what matters. Say you're used to an engagement of 10 cents. If it's up to 20, then you know something is wrong. So this is always depending. Also on a lead generation, how much does it cost you to get a lead? And I think these metrics are the most important. You should always first know how much you're willing to spend and then see where the line is and if you are spending more, less, or as you should. Anyway, I hope I helped you, Jorge. And everybody else who's watching, any more questions, please feel free to ask to the Facebook social media campaign manager. Thank you, man.
Alright, bottles on me, long as someone drink it, never drop the ball, fuck it y'all thinking, making sure the young money ship is never sinking, about to set it off in this